Hey everyone, I'm Chloe, and this is DTR, the podcast where we're going to be defining our college relationships. Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of DTR. Today we're going to be talking about using social media in our romantic relationships, and it's going to be a really good episode. I'm super excited to get into the topic, so without further ado, let's just get right to chatting. Alright guys, so before we get right into it, I wanted to give you guys some brief background about me. Right now, I'm currently a junior in college, and I also happen to be in a 2-year long-distance relationship, but we're only an hour away by car, but it's still long distance, all right? Don't come at me. I know there's a lot more long of distances that people have to deal with, and I'm very lucky to be in the position where I am today. So, ever since my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college, relationships and relational dynamics among students really captured my interest, and now that social media has become such an integral part of our friendly and romantic relationships, the waters have really been muddied. And I hate to admit this, but unfortunately, I am a habitual social media user, and I have brought it into my romantic relationship, which is fairly normal for my age, like a college age individual, because we are so saturated with it everywhere we go. To the point where, in fact, everyone's relationship is broadcasted across my own Instagram feed, and even my own relationship, I broadcast it among others. So, in my opinion, sharing my relationship online has almost become a bit of an addiction to me. So, when I first started dating my boyfriend, sorry, I was stuttering a bit, I was so excited for the world of Instagram to know we were together, but once I started, I just couldn't stop posting about us, and I got into my head that I had this fear that those who were following me would think that we broke up, or maybe we were going through some sort of rough patch that indicated why I wasn't posting about us, or why I just went radio silent. But in reality, no one was really pressuring that to me. It's just what society has taught me about once you start posting about your relationship and once you stop. So I had that preconceived notion in my head, which already made things tough for me. And as much as I want to say, oh, I don't care what other people think about me, like being young and being in college and seeing all these people around me going through similar things, I am somewhat self-aware of my social media presence online, which makes it really difficult for me to get a handle on. Broadcasting my relationship, it also has pushed me to always put the best parts of my relationship forward, which is an interesting concept because not everything is roses and Instagram likes, guys. There's much more that goes on in my relationship than the picture I'm posting of me and my boyfriend on Christmas, me and my boyfriend on my birthday, on Valentine's Day, etc. There's a lot of deep, intimate discussions and even arguments that go on that I don't put on social media because I don't want anyone to know necessarily the bad parts of my relationship or the struggles. To me, posting about a relationship online doesn't mark its success. It's simply just a portrayal of what I want others to see. And as you guys will learn while listening to this podcast, I love reading Cosmopolitan magazine. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Even when I hope to graduate, I hope to work there. So shout out to you, Cosmo. Recently, when I was browsing, I came across an article titled, "This One Little Sign Could Predict Which Couples Won't Last." And the title on its own is frightening, and the fact that it's about social media really got me shaking. The article basically cited one major study done in September of 2014, done by a team of researchers and publishers in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. The study suggested that couples who post a lot about their relationship online may actually have relational insecurity. And furthermore, the study went on to say that the more anxious we are in our own relationships, the more we want to post about our own relationships to reassure satisfaction. So let me say I'm so excited about this theory because it's so juicy, and college students in relationships nowadays are constantly blowing up social media feeds with details about their relationship and conversations that have went on, and even throwing their partners under the bus and just exposing way more than really what they should. So it's got me wondering if they do it because they are insecure in their own skin and they are trying to trick themselves into thinking that everything is perfect when it's really not. So essentially, our world can be crumbling around us, but as long as we put up a post for Valentine's Day, everything's going to be all right. It just is such a confusing topic and situation to even really wrap your head around, because social media has just diluted our minds to the point where we're even confused in our own relationships. Now, I've personally never posted a picture to mask relational insecurity, more so than to brag about the love I receive. And that's a whole nother ballgame, because it's me wanting to broadcast my relationship on the internet for people who really don't even know me. So I think that for those that post to mask the insecurities they have about their relationship, it's very dangerous to get sucked down that path, because it could become hard to differentiate between what is the truth about your own relationship anymore. How do you know how you really feel if you're constantly masking it with your Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat posts? So also, I think that social media has pushed us to have the ideal relationship and broadcast that image of us to thousands of people, as I was saying before. Although I'm showing the best parts of my relationship, I think that it doesn't help me mask my relational insecurity. I think it brings out more insecurity to me. Because for those in a relationship, or if you're single, social media can cause unrealistic expectations and standards for your own romance, for your own relationship. And once we start to broadcast our love life online, it gets really easy to start comparing ourselves to others. And I'm even guilty of it. So there will be times where I see couples traveling the world, wearing cute outfits at photo shoots, getting a new puppy, getting engaged. I'm only 20 and I'm not at that stage in my life right now, but I think to myself sometimes, why aren't my boyfriend and I doing that? How come we're not traveling? How come we're not out in Bora Bora, when really it's not feasible for the point of life I'm at, but I still am comparing myself to others. It's like I can barely keep up sometimes. And we can't ignore all of the amazing pictures of other couples once we see them. We could just keep thinking about them, and that's what keeps taking the toll on our relationship. In a 2014 Pew Research Center survey, 45% of millennial respondents said that their social media usage had a major impact on their relationship. And that's crazy. Millennials are a little younger than where I'm at right now. But think about that, from age you're in middle school up until now, your social media usage can make or break you. It could keep your relationship going, or it could be the difference if you break up or not. And to give technology or an app that power in your life is terrifying, because it's completely out of our control. And furthermore, it's just causing us to compare relationships to ones where we have no idea about what is actually going on behind the scenes. As I said before, I only put the good parts of my relationship up, but no one sees the arguments, the deep conversations. No one truly knows what it goes into making my relationship stable, and everyone's relationship is extremely different. And not even that, but there's also another huge issue regarding social media and relationships that I'd like to bring up, and that's constantly checking up on our partners. Now, an article published by Forbes titled "Why Millennials Need to Reduce Social Media's Impact on Their Relationships" cited a 2014 Pew Research poll that stated 8% of millennial partners have reported being upset by other party actions on social media. So essentially, they were upset when they saw their boyfriend or girlfriend on social media liking someone else's picture, commenting on someone else's picture, having a picture posted that their significant other was in that they didn't like what was going on. And that says a lot because we're letting a picture and we're letting a like on social media get us anxious to the point where you almost break up with your significant other, and that it speaks volumes for the power that these apps have on us. This is the perfect trap for a college relationship to fall into. With social media today, we have the ability to track our partners on Snapchat using a Snapchat map, which makes us accessible to where they are at all times. All we have to do is log on to the app, swipe up, and an entire map of all of our friends, including your significant other, is right in front of you in the exact street, the exact time, the exact place where they are. And given busy schedules and social lives, it's easy to get curious or anxious about where your partner is, what they're doing, especially maybe even if you are in a long distance relationship, you're going to be more inclined to wonder and not check up, because there are some people that do trust their significant others and there are some people that have a lower level of trust. But no matter how much you trust someone, you still are going to worry just a slight bit. Just overall change the way that we speak on an everyday basis with friends, family, significant others. Now, this is really interesting to me because my phone is attached to me 24/7. I am never without my phone. My phone's always on. I'm always reachable because I feel I always have to be available because I am in a long distance relationship, and it is important to me to answer the calls, that if my significant other is calling me, to answer a text, to really schedule times of day where we do have the ability to chat because we are so busy. And it really gets hectic in our lives. So with this is, I can't speak for myself, but I do have friends and family who go through similar things. People are in relationships are communicating more and more every day on Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter rather than texting each other. So that means that if you're not calling, you're not FaceTiming, you're sending 30-second pictures back and forth to one another, you're chatting in Instagram direct messages, and that's your primary form of communication. This is an interesting concept because the dynamic of how serious your conversations are have been reduced. So it's no longer, let me call you or text you if I'm facing a problem in the relationship, or I have a qualm, or I want to bring up an issue. You're doing it over social media. And although these messages can be private at times, you're also publicizing all of your relational issues for the world to see if you do decide to go public with that. And it really gives, if you do go public with the information that you and your partner are struggling with, it changes the whole dynamic of your relationship and also puts you in the spotlight for others to talk about you, judge your relationship when really they have no idea what's going on. So let's just take a major event that happened in pop culture. For example, it actually just happened a couple days ago, and today it came to a head. So I'm not sure if any of my listeners or not are familiar with the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but a star on the show, Khloe Kardashian, had a child with a man named Tristan Thompson. And they were not married, they were dating, they had a child, and he cheated on her right before she gave birth. They decided to go public and say that they were going to work things out, and that was the end of really what we heard about them. Fast forward to a couple days ago, Kylie Jenner, who's a sister of Khloe Kardashian, has a best friend, Jordyn Woods. Jordyn Woods allegedly hooked up or had a relation with Tristan Thompson while Tristan and Chloe were still together. Thus, Tristan cheated on Chloe with Jordan. Now, no one knew if this was true or not, but social media ran rampant with attacking not only Chloe's relationship with Tristan, but Jordan's relationship with the entire family, and the whole thing turned into a very nasty conversation that could have been done privately. But because today, as individuals, we choose to always, no matter what, we talk about our problems on social media, it opens up the conversation to the forum to everyone in the entire world. Now, this was a relationship matter that could have been dealt with privately, and in anyone's right mind is a very, very intimate and private discussion to be had between Chloe and Tristan and no one else. But in the public, we have seen this whole story unfold, play out in front of us, with Chloe having to tell her fans, this is my relationship, I'll talk about it when I'm ready. And then, on the other hand, we're seeing Tristan have no comment, Jordan have no comment until today. And it just changes the entire dynamic of not like just regular people in the public, their relationship dynamics, but also the relational dynamics of famous people, of everyone. Social media changes the way that we speak together, the way we act together. It can destroy your life in the matter of an instant, destroy your relationship in the matter of an instant. And that is something to keep in mind, to worry about, to be conscious of, and to really make the effort to sit. You have to sit down with your partner, no matter how they feel, and have the open forum about, do you think we should post? Is it okay with you if I post this? Is it okay if I say this about you online? Do you think that we should talk about this in private? Do you think that we should conceal this? And make a conscious effort as the couple to really map out your own relationship and build a strong foundation before you go posting on social media all of these things. Now, I'm not a proclaimed relationship expert. I just merely have an opinion, and I'm here to talk about it with you guys, and cite some facts, and really just enjoy speaking about the topic. Now, taking all of these facts into consideration, I think it's going to be really beneficial for us to hear right from a source. Two college students we have with us today who are in a long-term relationship, and they have their own opinions about the topic. Okay, guys, so we're here with Sam and Tyler right now, and how are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I'm good.
All right, that's good, guys. And we're going to start off by talking with Tyler first. Just a little brief background. They're both in college. They're both in their 20s, and they've been in a relationship for about 2 years now. So, Tyler, how do you feel that social media, or how do you use social media in your relationship with Sam? Do you post about her? Do you Snapchat?
So I do both. I post about her on Instagram and Facebook, and I do Snapchat her frequently. Instagram is kind of not really more so the most popular one with me, but it is nice to be able to post just a picture of the two of us or just her of something we're doing. Kind of just Instagram for me is like kind of a little portfolio for me to just see what's been going on in my life. Whether or not I use it that much is up for discussion, but I also feel like the way I view social media is like I may not post a lot on there because that's not really a way I feel I need to show my love for her. I try to do that in other ways, not necessarily social media.
Do you ever get anxious about what other people might think, if you don't post about her at all? Do you care if your friends think that you're broken up, or...
Well, I don't really have a ton of friends, but if they did think that we were broken up, they would just shoot me a text. So it's I don't really think that would be a big deal if I didn't post for a long time about the two of us being together or not.
So you'd say you're more old school in your approach then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And how do you feel, Sam?
I like social media to be able to post pictures of the two of us, just for myself mainly, because I like to look back and see all of my some of my favorite pictures all in one spot, so I could just look at them.
She uses like for memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like using Instagram, Snapchat? Like, what's your favorite?
Well, I mean, they're both very different, but I like using Instagram for the pictures, like I just said, but then Snapchat is just a way to talk to each other, but like also like with other than just texting, like you can send each other pictures of like your faces, so you could see each other throughout the day without when you're not together.
So either one of you could answer this question, but like because you guys are always together and you go to classes from home and like work from home and everything, usually are together all the time, do you feel like you're constantly on edge because like you always like want to know where each other are, like even because like social media has made you guys accessible to each other even when you're not together? So if you are not together one night, like do you feel the constant need to like almost check, not because you're like insecure, you're worried about it, like just because you're curious? And does that bother you ever?
It doesn't really make me feel like insecure or anything, but I mean, if I do have her location, that's something that we just share with each other because it's kind of like an easier thing. Like, oh, where are you? When are you going to be here? You can just go on and see, where you are if you're anywhere close, or just because you're getting ready to go out one night or something and you just I just want her to be here or whatever, or be at her house already. But I don't really. Sometimes I do if like I'm not doing anything. I'll just pull up her location. It just happens.
Yeah,
I don't really do too much thinking about it, but I don't really get anxious about where she is. I mean, you can just by knowing her schedule, I basically just know where she is.
What do you think?
I agree. I like having his location just to see like when he says he's coming over, so I can just know like when he's going to be here or not, instead of like, so if he's driving, I don't have to text him while he's driving to see what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I wanted to do something fun today, like while I have you guys here, and we're going to take just a quiz online. It's nothing serious. It's not in any way predictive of your relationship. I'm stuttering. Your relationship status with social media, or how you feel, but it's just a fun thing to do. So this quiz is from the Economic Times, and it's called, "Is your social media usage affecting your love life?" So I'm going to both ask you guys the question, and in your head, like you'll say the answer A or B out loud, but just keep track of like how many A's and B's that you have in your head. Okay, so the first question we have is, on most mornings, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you A, check your phone, or B, kiss your partner? Go first.
B.
B.
Okay. Over breakfast, are you chatting with your partner about your day, or are you guys checking your Instagram feed? So A is you scroll on Instagram and talk over breakfast, or B is you just make coffee and chat?
Oh, definitely B.
B. Okay. You're on a dinner date. Where's your phone? Is it on the table or in your pocket?
Sometimes not even anywhere near me.
Yeah.
In my pocket. B.
Okay, so you're on a date and you're not expecting an important call. Do you still pause the real life conversation to check your phone even if it buzzes? So A would be you like to check your phone, or B, no, it can wait.
I guess it depends. If it's a phone call, I would say A, but if it's just like a beep, usually not.
I wouldn't like pause what we're doing to look at it, but I just quickly glance.
Okay. On an average, how often do you update your social media apps? A, at least 5 times a day, and by update it means check. So at least 5 times a day is A, or B, once or twice a day at most.
B. Usually less too.
What do you think, Sam?
A.
Yeah. Do you feel uneasy without your smartphone? A, yes, or B, no?
A.
B. Yeah.
What's the last thing you do before going to bed? A, you check your phone and unwind, or B, set your alarm and talk with your partner?
B.
More B.
Yeah. Okay, and for the last one, how many friends do you have on social media that you haven't actually met but correspond with? So like people you follow and like pictures and talk sometimes, but not in person. So A is at least 30 and B is under 5.
A.
A.
Okay, so you guys had mostly B's, just off the cuff. And that says that you have a healthy relationship with social media, you love its function, but don't let it impose on your life. While you're up to date, your usage is unlikely to hamper your relationships, and learning to tune out and not depend on social media can actually make you more productive and give you better sleep. Do you feel like you guys can rest at night without looking at your phone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, well, again, it was really not a serious quiz, and it was from the Economic Times. So, to wrap up this interview section, we're going to do our rose and thorn about social media, and we'll do this at the end of every podcast for each topic. It's just going to be the rose is what you like the best about, in this case, social media in conjunction with relationships, and the thorn is your least favorite thing. So I would say my most favorite thing about social media in my relationship, because it is like sort of long distance, is that pictures like give me and countdown apps and stories on Instagram that I can make give me something to look forward to when I'm gonna see my boyfriend again, and really make me happy, like looking back at like the fun that we had if I'm feeling sad that I haven't seen him. And the thorn is, on the other hand, because we are away from each other at times, I always not because I'm anxious or anything, but I feel like I'm missing out sometimes, like if I'm seeing what he's doing, because we're just really close and like I always want to be together. So that would be my rose and thorn. What about you, Tyler?
So my rose would probably be that not so much getting to see each other on social media, because we're together very often, but one of the coolest things is that anything we're planning on doing, we can just search it on social media, and not only can you just get to look it up like once, but you get to follow different pages and stuff like that, and you can actually like stay updated on what's going on and everything. And that's actually something that Samantha introduced me to.
Oh, so I'm assuming that would be your rose too then?
Yes. Well, one thing that I like on Facebook is the event section, so I can go on and see what's going on for the weekend or during the week, and then I find something for us to do. My thorn would be, I guess, just sometimes I see pictures of other couples together, and I just would like to be doing what they're doing sometimes, and we just aren't. And it's not that I'm not okay with what we do. I love hanging out and going out to dinner and everything that we do together. It's just sometimes there's other things that other people are doing that I would like to.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that earlier. So I think all three of us are really on the same page in regards to using social media in all of our relationships. And I think that we had a really good conversation, so thanks for talking with me, you guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, and that's it for the interview portion. All right, guys, that wraps it up for today's episode of DTR. Thanks for listening, and always remember, it's better to talk it out than to hold it in. Until next time.